Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? Now, before I play this entire interview between George Kambosos and Eddie Hearn, I want to surmise everything. Now, George, he will be attending the Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz fight this weekend. I want to make this very clear, guys. I've been giving George Kambosos a lot of credit, separating him from fighters like Ryan Garcia and JoJo Diaz, who originally did not want the Devin Haney fight. At least that was not his first choice. We all know that when JoJo Diaz was the mandatory to fight for Devin Haney's belt, his first choice of opponent was Ryan Garcia. I've been telling you guys, George Kambosos, he's built different. George, he wants to smoke. He's willing to do what all of these fighters that were avoiding Devin Haney didn't want to do. I was even telling people the fact that George Kambosos is showing up at a Devin Haney fight alone is a great indication that he's not going to avoid Devin Haney the same way everyone else did. But after listening to this interview, maybe I might have jumped the gun, because now all of a sudden George Kambosos is talking with a different energy, unfortunately. In this interview, George Kambosos, he continues as Eddie Hearn is talking as if it's a foregone conclusion that the fight is going to happen next. It's going to be a big fight, etc., etc. You can see the excitement in Eddie Hearn's voice when he talks about making this fight, assuming that Devin beats JoJo Diaz, which I believe he will do in impressive fashion. But when George Kambosos talks, he keeps saying we have to see how Devin Haney performs, because now I'm in the driver's seat. The first thing he said is I'm in the driver's seat now. And that's when I was like, uh-oh. And then right after he said I'm in the driver's seat, then he starts saying we got to see how he performs. It really depends on how all these guys perform. He mentioned Lomachenko, Gervonta Tank Davis. He even mentioned Ryan Garcia. And once again, he kept saying it depends on how these guys perform. That's what I'm basing my decision on. This is what Kambosos is saying. And it was pretty interesting because when Eddie Hearn said, so you're saying you want Devin Haney to fight in the pocket? And Kambosos said, yeah, look, I'm not here to, see some guy moving around the ring, et cetera, but that doesn't make sense because that's how Kambosos fought Teofimo Lopez. He moved around the ring. He outboxed Teofimo Lopez. And for him to even mention fighters like Lomachenko moves around the ring. So this is not adding up, guys. Something else that was pretty interesting is Eddie Hearn nor George Kambosos ever mentioned anything about being undisputed. They didn't say anything about it. There are only 6 fighters that are officially listed as becoming undisputed, and George Kambosos' name is not on that list. Once again, the definition of the word dispute alone proves that George Kambosos is not undisputed. So why wouldn't Eddie Hearn, of all people, who's trying to make this fight between Devin Haney and Kambosos, address that this fight is for the real undisputed claim, the real undisputed title? So you put that together with George Kambosos saying it depends on how Devin Haney performs, then I'll decide who I will fight. I mean, that's like an NFL team in the playoffs saying it depends if they had the option to choose who they play against. It depends on how many points the Packers score. If they don't win at least by 35 points, then we might just go ahead and play against a different team. This is basically what George Kambosos just said. But once again, how do you box Teofimo for 12 whole rounds and then say you don't want to see Devin moving around the ring? There's a reason why they call it a challenge. The opponent is not supposed to make it easy for you. He's supposed to make it a challenge. He's supposed to make it difficult for you. You go back and watch my post-fight video after Teo lost to Kambosos. I told you guys in this video, the main thing that made things difficult for Teofimo was Kambosos' foot movement. It certainly wasn't Kambosos fighting in the pocket, because Kambosos never fought in the pocket in this fight, which he shouldn't have. George had a perfect game plan. So I don't know what George is talking about, but at the end of the day, there's still a good chance this fight is going to happen, because we already know Devin Haney is the type of person that corners these fighters. He's going to give this man, George Kambosos, everything he wants. George wants to fight in Australia, which he never said before. Now he wants it in Australia. Devin's not going to have a problem going to Australia, and the money is going to be there. So George really isn't going to have a reason to avoid or turn down this fight, unless he's going to fight somebody like a Gervonta Tank Davis instead. But this is the fight that is for undisputed. So let's see how it plays out. I'll go ahead and let you guys listen to the interview. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Absolutely. And of course, you've been everywhere this week. I think you're going to the fight on Sunday as well. But this fight, a really, really important fight for the lightweight division. You said off camera there, really looking forward to this fight. Devin Haney, you know, the young charge now of the division. Now Tio's taking a back seat. And of course, Jojo Diaz looking to become a multi-weight world champion as well. This is a real fight.
Yeah, look, it's a great fight. Not only that, for me, it's a scouting mission and just having a look and seeing who's going to perform. But as a fight fan, I'm excited to be there, to watch them fight. And both very talented guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing who shows more. The big thing now is I'm in the driver's seat. So I want action. I want fight of the year candidates. That's what I'm looking for. I want to give the fans their money worth. I'm not here to touch and run around and play games. I'm here for action. So all these guys, they want the shot. They got to show me something. They got to really show me that, you know, we're going to fight. That it's going to be a battle.
Is that your message to Devin, that you want to see him in the pocket on Saturday night and put on a show? You know, you want to make, and you're right. You sit there now with a Devin Haney fight, or Jojo Diaz fight, and the Tank fight, and a Ryan Garcia fight. But you want the biggest fight in boxing, and you want that to be built. And I guess you'd like to do that in Australia as well, if it can be made.
Yeah, look, that's definitely the plan, to take it back home, because I've been on the road since 2017 and I haven't fought in Australia for such a long time, and that was always the plan. Do the hard yards, earn it the hard way, and when we got everything and we win the championship of the world, we'll come back and we'll fill out 80,000 people in a stadium. This is exciting, you know, this is great for the division, you know, full respect to everyone in the division. Same as Lopez, I never disrespected him, I showed him my respect, but I had to do my thing in the ring. He's still in the mix too if he wants it, but I'm looking forward to seeing the fight on the weekend, the Tank fight. Ryan Garcia, hopefully he stops going missing and comes back as well, and Lomachenko and Commey as well. They're a great fight, so it all depends who shows the most now.
And finally, I know Australia is a big project for us in 2022. I feel like it's a market ready to set fire as well, but every market needs a role model, needs a superstar, and massive support from back home, from Australia as well. You really have changed the game over there.
Yeah, look, Australia they're still celebrating. I haven't even celebrated. I don't drink. I haven't even dared to have a drink yet. I've been so embedded in the media. But they are celebrating. They are really enjoying this. And like I said, this is not only my world titles, but it's their world titles, as well as Greece. There's big plans there down under, and obviously you got some big plans there as well. But you know, the face is here. I'm representing the flag, and you know, it's going to be an interesting 2022.
Well, I know on behalf of all the fans around the world, congratulations on a great fight, and congratulations on your win on Saturday night. We're going to be joined by Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz up next. We're going to throw it over to Karan.
What's going on, guys? Listen, if you really want to know how it's going down out here in Thailand, then go ahead and subscribe to my man's channel, Zoom to Thailand, my man's Richie Mack, so you guys can really see how everything goes down for us out here. And next year, I'm going to be heavy on my channel, DTN, Dontae's Traveling Nation.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at ScalpCarolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, you know, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP, and I saw some pictures of some guys, you know, before and after, and I was looking at that, and you know, it caught my attention, so I Googled it. S&P. Nothing showed up in my area. So, you know, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, ScalpCarolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And you know, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked, and you know, about our families and our life, and you know, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, ScalpCarolinas, to get this done.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.